Hi, I'm Tracy Michelle Arnold, and what does an empty box story mean to me? It means either you are voraciously chewing the scenery and pulling focus like you shouldn't. And I'm certain I'm guilty of that. In 20 years up the hill, I'm sure I've done that far too many times, I'm embarrassed to say. Or it means that you've made an egregious flub in front of 1,100 people and your colleagues. And that's the kind of story I'm going to share with you today. Once again, because I've worked here for a long time and I've done a lot of plays, I have a lot of examples of this, but I've narrowed it down to this one. It was 2009. I know that because, and I don't often remember the year that I did plays because I've been so fortunate to have done so many, but I know it was 2009 because I had just had my son the fall before. So it was my first season back after becoming a mom. And I can blame it on that if I choose to, on my being exhausted and having new mom brain. But I'm sure it was just operator error on my part, as most things are. So we were doing Hay Fever that summer, directed by Bill Brown. And for those of you that don't know the play or who don't remember it, it's a Noel Coward piece. It's very fun. And it involves a family of 4. My character's name was Judith Bliss. Her husband's name is David, and she has 2 children, Simon and Sorrel. And they are a very theatrical family. Judith, in fact, is an actress, a retired actress who wants to go back to work because living out in the country, they've now moved to a country home, doesn't suit her need for drama. But each one of them, unbeknownst to the others in the plot of the play, has invited someone to spend the weekend with them. Not just someone that they find sort of scrumptious and attractive, and they're bringing them just to flirt with them for the weekend so that they can feel alive again. They don't intend to go too far with any of them. They just want to feel good about themselves, and that's the way the Blisses would do such a thing. But none of them has told any of the other family members that they've invited someone. So each of them thinks they're going to have the whole house to themselves, essentially, and have this tete-a-tete with a person. But for my character, Judith, a woman named Myra has been invited by her daughter. And Myra is a woman of a certain age, as is Judith. And they are sort of one another's nemesis in the play. They're one another's foil. And at a certain point in the play, Judith walks in on her husband and Myra in a compromising position. I believe in our production, Myra was swept up in David's arms and being kissed. And so Judith walks in on this. And I loved that entrance. Oh, was it fun, because I was upstage of them and the whole audience knew that Judith could see it, but the 2 playing it didn't know. So, I love when the audience feels like they're in on something that the other people are about to get caught in. It was such a wonderful ooh moment. And then Judith has a little dramatic response to all of that. And she crosses down stage center. And I jumped down. I keep saying she like it's not me. It was me. And I stepped down into what we call the moat of what we call the Hanamichi, which is that large, wide aisle 5 in between 2 sections of seats that leads up to the lobby. So I was just downstage of that, of the stage and in the moat. And I was supposed to say some line in a bit of a huff with drama, and then perch myself on this little stool that was set there, like a little 3-legged stool. And I had done it over and over and over in rehearsal with no problem whatsoever. And I would basically back myself up to the stool so I could feel it, and then I could sit on it. Well, Judith in this scene had a long, beautiful purple gown that Rachel Healy designed for me. And it had a little bit of a train. So I was afraid to step on the train, and trip myself. So I just trusted that the stool was behind me. And this is how it went. I don't remember the line, so I have to read it to you. At least I think this is where it was in the play. This is how my memory is. And in my memory, it was also opening night. But that could be wrong because memory is a tricky thing, right? It's relative. So after she walks in on them and has a few words, Judith says to David, "The only thing is to keep calm." And then I went to sit on that stool without looking, and I landed on my tush on the floor, not on the step stool at all. To which David, the part that Brian Mani played, says, "I am perfectly." Huge uproarious laughter. So I I say the only thing is to keep calm. A funny line. It gets a laugh. Then I land on my tush, a much bigger laugh. Then Brian responds with, I am, perfectly. Bigger laugh. Then I say, there is such a thing as being too calm. Huge laugh. He says, sorry, dear. And I say, life has dealt me another blow, but I don't mind. Another laugh. He says, what did you say? And I say, I said life has dealt me another blow, but I don't mind. All of that happened. It was as if it was written to happen. So when we make mistakes and the audience can enjoy them, and we can enjoy them, it's even more scrumptious.